But the major thing they didn't tell me is the pain, bitch. Pain that would make me double over. At the point I was like, bitch, what did I get myself into?
In the 15 for my bro, yeah. 15 with my bro, yeah. Lagos, I wanna come home. Lagos, I wanna come home. Show my Aurora.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Zara Beauty in the and I'm back like I never left, bitch. Like the title said, we're gonna be talking about feminine hygiene, sis. What they don't tell you before you get an IUD. Till this day. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow our family to 50K by the end of the year, and we need your help to do it. Oh my god. So you guys, make sure you subscribe. Check out my other videos if you are interested. But yeah, let's get down to the video. I got an IUD a couple of months ago, actually 3 months ago now, and there's a couple things they did not tell me before I got an IUD. Now granted, I got most of my information from my good friend Google and Siri, but I felt like there were some things that were omitted from you know, the information concerning or regarding IUDs. An IUD is an intra-uterine device. So basically it goes into your uterus and it may or may not release hormones that help that stop you from, you know, getting pregnant and conceiving. So it is a form of birth control. It's among one of the best birth controls you can have on the market. I wasn't really getting an IUD because I wanted to be on birth control. Honestly, I could care less about birth control. I'm really not getting it on. So I really wanted to get an IUD because I have really painful periods, and I honestly was just sick and tired of having a period. I'm gonna say it right now. I was sick and tired of having a blood clot period, and I was dreaming about the day where I wouldn't have to have a period and I could just go and live my life free for a couple years. And I was looking everywhere, sis, and I didn't really know that IUD was helpful to stop periods. Well, certain type of IUDs could like literally stop your period altogether, till I went for a sexual health class, and you know, the teacher was telling us about the IUDs and the benefits and the, you know, side effects and stuff like that. And one of the side effects of the Mirena IUD, which is what I have, is that you could actually stop having your periods. You could imagine my joy when I heard that. I was so happy when I heard that I could potentially not have any periods anymore. So I looked into it. I did around 6 months of research to find out if that's what I really wanted to have, because this goes into your body and there are a couple side effects that you have to know about before you get an IUD. Obviously they run you through it, you sign a waiver and all of that, so I'm not going to go too much into the side effects because it's something you can easily find online, and if you are interested in doing it, you will see all the side effects and it will be explained to you. But I thought that, you know, those side effects were nothing compared to the joy of not having to deal with monthly periods and the cramps that come with it. Now we're going to go into the things you need to know before you're getting an IUD. First things first, there are different shapes of uteruses and there are different sizes of uteruses, right? So it's easier to get an IUD in when your uterus is a bit wider, your pelvis is a bit wider, your vaginal opening is a bit wider. It is easier to get an IUD in. Now, this is what an IUD looks like right here. It's a small curved looking thing, looks like a T-shaped thing, and it goes straight into your uterus. The Mirena has hormones in the IUD itself that helps to stop and prevent your periods. You know, it prevents those pregnancy hormones, because literally, you know, your period is just your body getting pregnant without the sperm, basically. So it helps to control those hormones and to kind of stop them from happening. So when I went in to get my IUD the first time, there were some things that I was told, and the reason why I couldn't get my IUD then. If you're treating an STI, if you're treating a UTI, your urinary tract infection, or an STI or anything like that, you would not be able to get your IUD at that point. Not like you can get it, but it increases the likelihood of you getting injured or getting a lot of major side effects like BV and stuff like that once you get the IUD in. So at that point in time, I had like a minor UTI and I was just being treated for it. So when I went in to get the IUD, she told me like, look, you can get it if you want, but these are the risks associated with it, and I decided not to get it. So later on, after they'd run the test and found out that I was, you know, UTI free or whatever, I was told to come back in to, you know, come get the IUD. Now, if you're in Canada, the cost of getting an IUD insert is covered by OHIP, and you don't even need to be a permanent resident. You don't need to be anything. As long as you're a resident of Ontario with an address, you can go in and get your IUD inserted at any of the sexual health clinics within Ontario. So it is covered by the province. You do not need to pay. The only thing you need to pay for is the Mirena, and if you have OHIP, it is covered. And if you have extended benefits in your workplace, it most of the time is covered. So it's up to you if you decide to do it, but the costs are relatively less, you know, within Ontario. So I went in to get it, but that day I wasn't able to get it because I found out that my vagina is quite small and is tunnel-like, so it's kind of difficult. Wow, Zara, are you actually explaining the shape of your vagina on YouTube? Wow, this is gonna be on the internet. Wow. But yeah, my vagina was a bit too small for them to just drop the IUD in. Plus, I really think that the girl that was doing this for me was very fucking inexperienced. I don't care what no one says, she was inexperienced AF. And she wasn't a doctor that I came to do the consultation with initially. So it's very, very, very painful. Please, if you're gonna get your IUD, I suggest and I highly advise you to take at least 2 Tylenol a couple hours before you come in, so the Tylenol has time to thin your blood. It is very painful because you're literally poking around in your uterus. That is very painful. That's like having cramps on steroids. That's how it feels like. So the girl tried to put it in. She tried over and over again. She tried to open up my cervix with that thing, you know, the thing they use for the pap test to open up your cervix, but it just couldn't work. And then I was in severe pain. Like, I was in severe pains, literally. So I was like, no, this cannot go on. She told me to tell her when I was in a lot of pain because it doesn't help, because it's literally scratching my uterus. Now, a different types of IUDs you can get is you can get the copper IUD. I don't think those ones have hormones and they last a shorter time. You can get the Kyleena, which is a bit smaller than the Mirena. Doesn't have as much hormones as the Mirena and might not lead to a complete stoppage of your period, but it can lead to lighter periods. And then the Mirena is deemed as the most effective one, with only 1 out of 1,000 births occurring, and it is a bigger IUD and it has all the hormones to control your periods and stuff like that. And with research has shown that over some time some women experience no periods at all, and that was the hope that I was going on. So they asked me, okay, look, this Mirena looks too big for you, because they don't open your IUD till they're sure that it can get in. So they were like, do you want to switch to a Kyleena or stuff? I was like, no bitch, I came here for the Mirena. I'm gonna get that Mirena because I do not want a period anymore, period, literally. So they were like, you know what, we can't do it today, we can't overdo that, come back next time. So I was really heartbroken. I cried in the car because I was very, very, very ready to not have a period anymore. So it's very, very frustrating and disappointing for me. So I had to wait for like a week before I could try again so my body could heal and stuff. Girl, bitch, I was prepared. Girl, I swallowed those pills like no man's business. I took like 4 Tylenol, 4 Advil to get ready for this, like for 2 days straight. So I was very ready. And when I came in, you know, I was relaxed. They usually say come in during your period because your cervix is a bit wider and is open, because obviously your body's going through pregnancy. And the first time I came during my period. It was quite messy because there was blood everywhere and stuff. I don't really know. So the next time I came was not on my period, but I'd taken a lot of Advil, so it really relaxed me and calmed me down. And yeah, second time was a charm. It didn't hurt me as much because, like I said, my blood was thinned out and stuff by the Advil. So the second time was a charm. They put it in, it got in. A little bit of difficulty, but it got in, thankfully. So first off, immediately you get your IUD, you're going to see some spotting, like on the spot, because like I said, they're scratching into your uterus, and which is one thing you have to realize is a side effect. You could have permanent damage to that place. So that's something you gotta figure out. You need to go to a professional, not someone that doesn't know their shit, because they could damage your uterus. You could also get increased risk of UTIs reoccurring. I did get a UTI after I got my Mirena in, literally nearly immediately after I got my Mirena, I got a UTI, and that's something they told me about. There's also an increased risk of having recurring BV, but if you take your probiotics and your antibiotics, you should be good. I didn't get BV. I only got a UTI after that. I haven't had a BV since then. So it really is up to you. I'm very healthy. I take probiotics. I work out. I take yogurt. I do everything it is to keep myself good. But the major thing they didn't tell me is the pain, bitch. You would be in pain. For 2 weeks straight, I had sharp pain, like pain that would make me double over. At the point I was like, bitch, what did I get myself into? It was very painful. Like you'd feel sharp pain in your uterus, in your pelvis. And it's like, it takes time for the Mirena to adjust to your body. Sometimes your body can expel the Mirena IUD. So if that happens, then you'd have to go to your doctor. So I really prayed that my IUD wouldn't be expelled, because sometimes the IUD is expelled and people don't know that it's gone and they're going around thinking they have birth control, but they don't. So you need to check in with your doctor at least like 6 weeks after you have the IUD in, with minimal sexual activity, just to make sure that it's still in there, it's still in your uterus and still doing its job. My experience in the first couple of weeks was kind of tough, honestly. I was constantly in pain. Advil was my best friend. I was constantly popping Advils like every day. I was in a lot of pain. It was like a never-ending cramp. But the thing is that it'll come and stop almost immediately. So it would be like for a minute, then that's it. I wouldn't feel it for another 8 hours, and I'd feel it for a minute, and that's it. So it came and went. But that was only for the first couple of weeks. As of the next month, it was so much better. But the month after you get your IUD, your periods will be very heavy. And that's something I didn't really know, and I wasn't really told. Your periods will be very heavy the month or the first couple weeks after, the first couple months after you get your IUD. So the month after I got my IUD, that February period, goddamn sis, it was heavy. Like I needed like 3 pads per day. It was really heavy. But then after a while, it started thinning out. Also, you're going to get a lot of spotting. So I got spotting 2 weeks before my period, and I got my period. So I was spotting every day. So I needed to have a panty liner and stuff, because I was spotting the leftover blood from the thing entering inside me and stuff like that. So yeah, the period after your IUD insertion is pretty steep, and it could be the worst one you're gonna have yet. With the cramping and everything, I was in constant pain. I had to take a couple of days off from work because I couldn't walk. It was that bad. I was like, fuck bitch, what did you do? What did you do? But I took it like a champ. I was like, I have to look forward to the future of no periods. Month 2, the sharp pain had reduced by over 50%. I wasn't feeling those sharp pains in my uterus anymore. I'd feel it here and there, but not as painful. I didn't last as long. My period started slowing down. My period between my first one after insertion was cut down by 50%. So my period was really light. For me, I usually have heavy periods, so that to me was like, oh my god, wow, it's working. So my period was quite light. The third month after, because I'm in my 4th month now, the 3rd month after my insertion, literally barely there. So the period had reduced by another 25%. So it was really light. I only needed like 1 pad throughout the day. Obviously, that's a nasty thing. I know you need to change up often. My day consists of like 8 to 10 hours. So I only needed like a pad a day before I had to shower and stuff like that. And I was amazed. Then count down to my 4th month, I barely have a period. Yes, my doctor said it usually takes 6 months before the period can go altogether, or it'll be so light that it's over by the time you know it happened. And I'm in my 4th month, and I can definitely say I can see it getting there. I had my period and I didn't even need to wear a pad. I only wore panty liners, and I didn't need to wear a pad. That's how light my period was. It lasted roughly around the same time my period lasted, so like 5 days, but it was so light. At the 5th day, it was like literally nothing there. Okay guys, Zara here. So I was just editing this video and I remember I said this is my 4th month, but at the time this video is going to be released, this will be my 5th month right now. I barely have any periods, guys. Like literally I only use a panty liner right now. I don't need any pad and my cramps are non-existent. I can't wait till I reach my 6th month in a couple weeks to be period free. I'm hoping I'll be one of those period free ladies. But yeah guys, just a quick update, back to the video. I didn't have any cramps. I didn't have any cramps, y'all. That was the happiest moment for me. It was like I went through this period and I didn't cramp up. I felt some sharp pain here and there because my IUD had actually moved. So I went at my 6-week mark to check with my doctor and she was kind of alarmed because she couldn't feel the strings. Apparently there needs to be strings there. They need to feel some strings, but they could barely fit this into me. I knew that something was wrong because I kept on feeling those sharp pains. That means my IUD was lodged in a different shape in my uterus. But she told me to do a ultrasound to make sure that it's still there. It's still in my uterus, because if it moved away from my uterus, it wouldn't be doing its job and I wouldn't have any birth control. So I had to get a scan and it showed that it's there. And I asked my friend and she was like, she had her own IUD for 5 years and the strings moved like a long time ago, but hers was still there. And it was still in your uterus. The most important thing is that it's still in your uterus because that's where it's meant to be, and that's where it controls the hormones because that's where it's meant to be. So that's the most important thing. And yeah, so yeah, I'm in my 4th month. Cramp free, loves. Yes, it's worth it for me. I can't wait till I'm at my 7th, 8th month where I don't know what a period is, where I can go on vacation without thinking about periods and cramping and being angry and cussing Eve out for making women go through this shit. Like, who else cusses Eve out when they're in the cramp mood? I cussed her out bad thing. Even though I know I'll probably have done what she did, I still cuss her out because it makes me feel good inside. But yeah guys, this is some of the things I wish I had known about before I got my IUD. Do I still recommend it? Yes, yes, and a million times yes, sis. I would never not recommend this shit, sis. This is for me, sis. It's for me and it's also be for you. If you're going through really painful periods, if you have, I forget what it's called, the condition where your periods are so painful that you can't even do anything, you would be advised to try out an IUD because it does really help with it. It helped with my cramping a lot. It helped with my periods. It's so much lighter. I could go through my day without worrying about being stained or, you know, having to change my pad 15 million times a day. I definitely recommend an IUD. Yes, it does come with side effects. Yes, it does come with considerable risk, but that's just part of the choice you have to make. Everything comes with risks. I urge you to do your own research, find out what your body can tolerate, but at the end of the day, it's your body, it's your life. I would still say do what's best for you, especially when it comes to your health. This has really lifted a weight off my shoulder, and my productivity is higher even during my period because I'm not going through pain and my legs are not all cramped up and swollen. It was just a very amazing and best decision I've made, honestly, and I don't regret it. Yes, the first couple weeks are really tough, but if you can go through that, sis, that's the worst of it. You'll be fine. But yeah guys, that is my experience with my IUD. Leave me a thumbs up if you found this video informative. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like these. Let me know your thoughts on an IUD, and if you've had experience with your IUD, what did you go through? Let me know in the comment section below. Once again, it's your girl Zara Beauty and I'm signing out. Have a wonderful day. Bye.